Hello, Drafting 10 students. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to set up your LibreCAD environment so that you are looking at the same window and options that I am when I'm doing the live session tutorials, as well as any of the learning material tutorial videos that you're going to see in the course. When you open LibreCAD for the first time, your screen may or may not look the same as mine. You may have some other toolbars and docked menus, but we're gonna go through how to set it up so it looks exactly the same as mine today. So the first thing that we're going to do, and there is a PDF document that takes you through this, is you're going to have to create your own menu that's going to use the tools and options that we're going to need for the class, because some of them aren't visible by default. So once you're inside of LibreCAD, we are going to want to hide everything just to start fresh. And so what it means is you go into your widgets area and look at dock widgets and then just uncheck everything. And then toolbars, same thing. Go in and uncheck everything. I think you've got categories turned on by default, but I'll turn that off as well. So we've essentially got a completely blank LibreCAD system here. We've got no drawing, we've got no toolbars or widgets or anything, and we'll just start from scratch. We want to create a custom toolbar that's going to let us pick and choose which tools we want for the main toolbar that the one we're going to be using most often. And if you go into widgets, you'll notice something called the menu creator and the toolbar creator. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom tool set using the toolbar creator. When you click that, it pops up this window and it allows you to see all of the possible tools that are available in LibreCAD and either add them to a list or remove them from a list. So I want you to go in here and I just want you to create one that's called Drafting 10. And then we're going to add tools to it. Now I've already got a menu that is Drafting 10 that already has all this stuff, but I'll show you how I got there. So there will be nothing in the list. This is how you remove items, by the way. You just click on the right list and then you click the arrow to put them back in the master list. Okay, so I'm going to create a new one just called temporary tools or something like that. You should call yours Drafting 10. In fact, I might as well call it Drafting 10. Can't type today. Drafting 10. All right, so what tools do we need from this menu? I've got a picture on the PDF document that shows these, but these are the ones that we're going to use in the class. And the first one at the top is points. So if I go down to the P's, click points, and then I'll click this, bring it over. Next one is 2 points, which is at the top. And you're going to want the 2 points, the one that's got a line on it. And then there's one called angle. So go down a little bit. You see angle. We want center. Circle center, so that is this one that says center point, that's a circle. Then make sure you have a look at the icon too, the little picture, make sure you've got the right one. Then we've got a rectangle, so that's down in the R's, rectangle, and next on the list is polygon. And this is the polygon. There's a couple different options, but the one that we're going to use most often in this class is we want a polygon that's got a center and the contour. So center, C-O-R. And it wouldn't hurt if you added another one of these, but those are the ones that I think I would like to add. You know what? I think I'm going to add the center and the tangent as well. So if you want to add both those polygons, that's great. We'll go down to F, or up to F, and there's a freehand line. Freehand line, that just allows you to basically move the mouse and draw whatever you want. So we'll get freehand line in there, and then we're going to go and grab something called a spline. There's a spline. There's a bunch of different splines. Take the one that says spline through points. That's the one we're going to use. And what's next? Ellipse arc. Okay, so this is what we're going to use to be drawing ellipses. And I think I want the ellipse arc. You could also put in the center and 3 points as well, or the axis, either or. Just a couple different options there. All right, after ellipse, we've got a polyline. I don't know that we'll be using a whole lot of polylines, if any, but it doesn't hurt to have it in there. And now we need some tangents. Tangents are important in the class, and maybe you remember what a tangent is from your math classes, but even if you don't, that's fine, you will learn. Okay, so we've got tangent lines here. So you're gonna want this one, the CC one. You're also gonna want the PC one, that's point in the center. And I don't think we'll need the circle ones for now, so that's probably good enough. Go up to P. Next thing is parallel. Drawing parallel lines and also parallel through a point. So we'll add parallel through a point. And I put them in this order because we tend to use the things at the top more so than the things at the bottom, but they all should be accessible. So once you've created that menu and you're happy with it, I want you to create it. And this menu doesn't close this window. It does create it though. So if you go back up to, if you hit the X in the corner and then you go back up to your tools and widgets, you'll notice in your toolbars, you now have a drafting 10 menu. And that menu should pop up somewhere in the screen. Now you can, I think by default it comes up on the left side, but you can grab, if you grab the top of the menu, right at the very top here of any menu, you can drag it out, you can dock it anywhere, and you can also, you can put it at the top if you want it there, you can put it on the right side, bottom, left side. If you want your screen to look exactly like mine, and I do recommend that you keep it this way for a while, you should put it over here because these are the tools that we're going to be using most often. I see I've got one more tool in this menu that I forgot to let you know about, so you can change these at any time. So you go back up to your toolbars, and then just go back to your toolbar creator, and then pick your list there. And I noticed that I forgot to put hatch in, so you can put it at the very bottom, but there is something called a hatch. You go to the H's. There's a hatch, and you want to throw that one in as well. Hit create. And it doesn't create a new menu, it just adds to your original menus. So there you go. And you will notice that your hatch is now in there with the other ones. Okay, so after that, we are going to include a couple of more menus, and we're going to turn some things on and turn some things off. So this is what I would consider our main menu bar, and this is going to include the tools that we use the most. So let's go turn on the built-in widgets and toolbars that I think we're going to use. So we're going to definitely use dimension, so turn that on. You can see it popped up at the top here. We're also going to use, let's see, I've got dimension, I've got the edit menu, you're going to need that. That's this guy right here. Then the next one we're going to turn on is modify, definitely going to need that one. This one appears over here, and actually usually I do keep it there, I believe. Correctly. What else do we need down here? Snap selection we need for sure. And we also need tool options. And it never hurts to have the view menu on. This one's kind of optional. So it put all of those up at the top by default. And I don't need to, mouse up here very often, so I'm perfectly happy keeping them there. This menu here, it just allows you to get to your mouse pointer. It allows you to copy and paste. I usually use Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste, Control-X to copy or to cut, and Control-V as in Victor to paste. But if you're not familiar with those keyboard shortcuts, then you can include that menu. I'm going to get rid of it actually because I very, very rarely, if ever, use it. And that one is the And the view menu I actually don't use very often either because you can use the mouse wheel to scroll in and scroll out, and you can press the middle mouse button to move your page around. So I actually don't use this one very often either, but it's not a bad idea to have up there in the beginning if you're not sure how to zoom in on things. All right, so this one right here is, that one right there is a toolbar. The one that I created with you. So I'm actually going to just move that one away for now because I've got my own menu right there. So you can move these around if you want, but I think that I'm going to keep them docked like this for now. Actually, I got rid of my menu there. So I think I'll keep them docked like this for now. And again, these are the tools that I have in that drafting 10 toolbar, the ones that we're going to need most often. Okay, now there's also some widgets that I typically have turned on here as well. Don't worry about the dock areas, but when you go down to dock widgets, the things that I think you're going to need to use are the CMD, that's just command. So down here at the bottom, it shows you everything that you type on the keyboard, and oftentimes typing something on the keyboard is quicker than finding it with your mouse. So it's good to have that command bar on, and it also has a list of things that you've done in your history. So the last commands you've typed in or clicked on. You can drag this up or down, depending on how much of a history you want to see there. I usually just keep a couple lines. The other widgets I have on are layer list. That one's very important. Shows you all your layers, construction layers, colors, basically all of the lines that you're drawing. They have certain line types and lengths and dashes and things like that, so you're going to want that on for sure. And the only other one that I turn on is block list. You will probably not need the block list. It's not a requirement for the class, so you can turn it on or you can turn it off. It doesn't really matter much to me, but make sure that you've got the layer list. So after you've got those things set up in that order, you should be good to go for following me in the tutorials and knowing what it is that I'm clicking on when I'm clicking on it. If you have any questions, please let me know.